All right, we are going to call the February 17th meeting to order. Roll call.
Carr,
Here.
Schmitz,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Mossing.
Here. Here. This time we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, is there any board members who desire to add, delete, or separate any items of the consent agenda as proposed? No? All right, I just need a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented for the regular board meeting on February 17th, 2026.
Move for.
Roll call?
Carr,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Mossing,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes, motion carries. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the organizational and regular board meetings held on January 12th, 2026, and the special board meeting held on January 22nd, 2026. Moved.
Support.
Roll call?
Carr,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Mossing,
Yes.
Kiefer.
Motion carries. At this time, is there any board members with correspondence? Mr. Carroll?
Yeah.
And Mr. Small?
Yes, I received 2 notices of resignation from Rita Brand and Diane Pickford.
Thank you. Will you continue recognizing our guests and visitors?
You guys with us? Can you please just introduce yourself, starting with Bill?
Tom Wolf.
Tony Doble.
Jan Bustecker, OSBA.
Angela LaPlante. Elizabeth O'Connell. Amanda Brain. Dr. Dolores Swineford. Jenny Conrad. Amber Hansel.
Brian Hanson. Lucas Burgholder. That's right.
Thank you, everyone. We do have 2 presentations for the board tonight. Our first one is Mr. Jan Bustecker from OSBA.
You want me to stand up?
Yes, please.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I am Jan Bustecker from the Ohio School Board Association. I am president of the Northwest Region, and I'm also president of the Woodmore Local School District Board of Education, which is over by Sandusky in Ottawa County. Tonight, though, for the OSB, we do have a recognition. One thing that we give out at our spring and fall conferences is a veteran board member's a certificate for a number of years that a board member spends on the board. And tonight, I am pleased to give a 10-year award certificate to Nora Kiefer.
Thank you. Oh, did you get it?
Oh.
Thank you.
If I could, for 2 minutes,
Absolutely.
I would just like to mention about some upcoming events that the Northwest Region is doing. On March 19th, we are having our spring conference, and that is at Liberty Benton Elementary School in Findlay. Registration is currently open, which is on the OSBA website. On March 24th, we have a state legislative conference that is held in Sandusky, Ohio, at the Sandusky Yacht Club. And that is free. They do have a meal, but you pay for the meal. You order off the menu and you pay for the meal, but the actual conference itself is free. And that they bring up OSBA's legislative team. They talk about what's happening at the state level. And we all know that there's a lot happening at there, and so you can ask questions and find out what is actually going on. There is a legislative open house with the Northeast and Central. That's Sandusky Yacht Club, that we go in with the Northeast region and the Central region. On October 8th is the Northwest Region Fall Conference, and that's going to be held at North Baltimore High School. And on November 15th through the 17th is Capitol Conference again for this year, held in the Columbus Convention Center. One of the things that we try to do at these conferences is recognize awards with people within school districts that support your school district. And I know every school district has somebody, an individual, an organization, a company, a group that does a lot for your school district. And at these conferences, we have that, we have those awards. It's an Excellence in Community Service Award, Humanitarian Award, Excellent Award for Outstanding Leadership. And I have some information about those I'm gonna leave with you, and there's an application on the back. It's too late now for the spring conference, but for the fall conference, if you have anybody that you would like to recognize, this is an opportunity and a great time to do that. There are some other awards that for school districts, the Purple Star recognition, which is for a school district that supports military families. Either students that have parents in the military, or maybe your staff or parents that are in the military and you support that. That also information on how to do that is on the OSBA website. We have a Bonnie Eddy Educational Supply Book Grant. We give out at the spring conference, we give $500 scholarships to high school seniors who are going into the education field. And those are being on that committee to select those. We had, I think 60 applicants this year, and we had to narrow it down to 5. And you talk about something that's really tough, because these kids are really something else, and it's just amazing what their involvement and why they want to go into education. So as president of the region, I have set a couple goals this year. And one of the goals is I totally enjoy coming out to this part of the state. I have a godson who goes to Bryan High School. There's some friends that live in Pioneer, that go to the North Central. And I totally enjoy coming out this and this way. And when I come to schools like this and meet individuals, one of the things I hear is about the distance to drive. We have a legislative open house going at Sandusky. That's quite a drive, and I understand that, I get that. So one of the goals that I set this year is, instead of setting these places, these conferences or these events so far away, I want to bring it to this way. And so on April 29th, from 5 to 7, we're having a region open house. And then that's going to be at the Northwest Ohio ESC at Archbold. So it's a little closer, so if you're interested, also on the OSBA website, this information is on there. So we're going to be doing that. And also on September 29th, from 5 to 7, we're going to the Mercer County ESC. That's quite a ways south. That's at the very end of our region in Mercer County. So it's quite a distance, but it's again the same thing, trying to bring OSBA toward you. We're going to have people from OSBA that's going to talk about legislative issues and also about OSB in general on what they're doing and what's going on. So those are just a couple things that are going on around the region. And if there's anything if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them if I can.
Any questions for Mr. Rustick? I don't think so.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip back.
Yeah, well.
All right, our next presenter is Elizabeth O'Connell.
Hi, I'm Angela LaPlante. I'm also with TNG Group with Elizabeth. She has been training me. I've been with TNG since September and on campus since September. We just wanted to come here to introduce ourselves and mainly tell you a little bit about TNG and ourselves. So I have been in food service before. I come from University of Toledo. So I did work for a food service management company on campus there. So I am familiar with food service companies. And while I've been here, I have been enjoying
Good.
My name is Elizabeth O'Connell. I have been with the nutrition group about 2 years. I started out at Mason schools, went to Summerfield and Whiteford, and now here. So I've been working to learn all of the states, so being in Michigan and now in Ohio. The nutrition group is really happy to partner with Evergreen Schools, and we brought you a little gift, which we've been here for about a year now. We came in an emergency basis in 2024 and then on this school year. So we brought you a little packet of information about things that are happening in our organization and things that we can bring to the table here. There's a handy calendar in there and a bookmark and a couple of other pieces of literature in there. And we made you a little treat too, to let you know how much we appreciate you. We wanted to let you know that our contact information is at the top of the menu, so our email and phone numbers are available at the top of the menus. I'm not sure if it's been changed on the website or not, or if that's information still, we should check that. But feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. One of our goals with partnering with Evergreen Local Schools is to become part of the Evergreen family. We're working on gaining the trust of the staff. We really have some great ideas, some great things that we can incorporate into our programs, and we're looking forward to doing that as we go forward and we get them trained and get them used to doing some things. We have some goals of doing more homemade items. So, but all these things are gonna come with time as we get familiar, we get to be a well-oiled machine back there together. So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and let you know we're here and we're welcome questions or anything that you have.
Any questions for?
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much,
you.
ladies. All right, Mr. Carroll, would you like to go over your report?
Great, thank you. Stack of papers that you have are monthly financials for January. The first document you have is our cash reconciliation. This shows that our software is balanced with all of our banks. The second page, the financial summary. This is how we are currently appropriated in our software. The cash summary, this shows each of our funds with fund balance and what we have spent so far this fiscal year. The disbursement summary, these are the checks that we issued in the month of January. And then the first graph you have is the revenue and expenses of January compared to last January, and then compared to the forecast. So far at the end of January, we are 58% of the way through the fiscal year. And the second graph is the payroll and benefits broken down. Again, we're 58% of the way through the year. We have spent 57% of our payroll budget and 61% of our benefits budget. And the last graph, we did receive at the end of January our third income tax collection. With that payment was up slightly, it does put us up 12% over last year. A couple other items on financial consent agenda. We did receive multiple donations, mainly for our student assistance fund and then for FFA, a conference coming up. We have one transfer from athletic fund to the tournament fund, and then an advance of $100,000 from general fund to food service. We have 3 grants that we need to add funds to. And then the tax rate, this gets submitted to the Budget Commission for next year. Then the forecast that you have in front of you. 2 items that I wanted to shed some light on. There is a lot of uncertainty with property taxes right now, and it has been recommended to us to flatline our revenue. So the very top line, you will see property taxes have been flatlined for the next, for this year and then through years moving forward. That is rare. This is the first time that we've submitted a forecast this early in the year. Typically, it's in May. And then we would only have 1 month left of the fiscal year, so this is pretty early. But that was recommended, so we did flatline the revenue. Real estate revenue, and then on line 6.010, that's a big blue line. You do see in fiscal year 28 and 29 that those are red. That is because we can't include our income tax renewals in there until they're approved. But they are included at the bottom under income tax renewals. And then at the very bottom, we are in good shape moving forward because those income tax renewals are calculated in. So I just wanted to bring those to your attention. Outside of that, that is all that I have.
Perfect. Any questions for Mr. Carroll before we jump into the financial section of the agenda? Okay, then we are going to start with the consent agenda and financials. Need a motion to approve the January 2026 financial reports we just reviewed with Mr. Carroll. To accept the following donations: $100 anonymous donation to the Students Assistance Fund and $500 from the Knights of Columbus to the Students Assistance Fund. The rest of these donations are all going to go to FFA, so I'm just going to read off our donators. $100 from Cell King International, $200 from Holland Farms, $80 from Berkey Farm Center, $50 from Robert Nash, $50 from Reddle Farms, $250 from Bill Elvey, $50 from Anna Best, $1,000 from the Fulton County Dairy Association, $100 from Anthony Zook, and $200 from Valerie Yearly. We also need to approve the following transfers, appropriations, modifications, and amended resources accordingly. A transfer of $25.90 from the athletic fund to the tournament fund, an advance of $100,000 from the general fund to food services. We need to approve the following grants, modify appropriations, and amend resources accordingly. The Title I grant for $765.80. The school safety grant for $5,026.85. And the career awareness for $3,188.14. To accept the amount and rates determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessary tax levies and certify them with the county auditor. We also need to approve the financial forecast to be submitted to the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce by February 28th, 2026. At this time, I just need a motion to approve those financial reports and other financial items.
Move.
Supported.
Any question at this time or discussion? Roll call?
Carr?
Yes.
Schmitz?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Mossing?
Yes.
Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. We'll move on to personnel. We need to accept the resignation of Rita Brand, bus driver, effective February 4th, 2026. And to accept the resignation of Diane Pickering, a reading specialist for the purpose of retirement, effective May 29th, 2026. We need to terminate the employment contract with Marcine Smith, library aide, effective February 17th, 2026. We need to offer the following supplemental contract for the 25-26 school year pending the completion of all pupil activity permit requirements. Ethan Van Lukey for the JV baseball coach. We need to add the following individual to the approved district substitute list pending the completion of any and all licensure requirements and background checks for Rita Brand for cafeteria custodian aide. And at this time, we just need a motion to approve those above listed personnel positions.
So.
Supported.
Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Carr?
Yes.
Schmitz?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Mossing?
Yes.
Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. We'll move on to other business. We have a motion to approve the granting of an Evergreen High School diploma to the following students that have met all graduation requirements as determined by the high school principal: Cormac Goodlett, Madeline Hireman, and Jacob Lorenz.
So moved.
Supported.
Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Yes.
Schmitz?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Mossing?
Yes.
Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. We need a motion to authorize membership to the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the Evergreen High School and Evergreen Middle School for the 26-27 school year. The board agrees to conduct Evergreen's athletic programs in accordance with the Constitution, bylaws, regulations, interpretations, and decisions of the OHSAA.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Carr,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes.
Peter.
Yes, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the proposed policy revisions and new policies to Evergreen Local School Board's policy. The following policy revisions and additions are recommended for approval. I'm going to let you guys read through that quick list from Neola. And then I'll just take a motion. Support. Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Carr.
Yes.
Schmitz.
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes.
Keeper.
Yes, motion carries. Mr. Samola, would you like to take over discussion and information?
Yes, gonna slide over here if that's okay, so show you some slides. I also put a copy of the slides in your packet, so looking strategically at where we want to go with our academic programming at the high school that could then move down into our middle school. I wanted to talk about what we've been looking at administratively. I think we do a really good job for our students who are college bound between our AP courses and CCP classes. There's a lot of opportunity for those students in figuring out the pathway that they want to go. We've been challenged by Steve Dakin, the director of ODU, to kind of rethink high school programming and what we're offering our students. And that comes directly in line with our strategic plan, where two parts under our academic goal were to expand and promote academic programs in correlation to career prep and to prioritize authentic academic experiences such as service learning, real life learning opportunities, and personalized pathways. So looking at where do we want to go with our academic programming? What do we want to offer? How do we adapt what we're offering so we meet the needs of our students and the community? There's money that goes along with this from the state. We can challenge our students. We can keep students on campus, hopefully, and provide them with some skills and credentials more than just a diploma. What we're looking at. So if we redo academic programming, or what are the benefits? So again, a program that hopefully allows students to explore careers while they're here at Evergreen and leave Evergreen with competitive advantage over students graduating from other schools. I would love to see Evergreen become a magnet school where we're bringing in students from the surrounding schools, Wasion, Swanton, Delta, Springfield, Sylvania, because we're offering something that they can't get in their home district. So we become a magnet. We're bringing students in because we've got some unique programming that they can't get anywhere else. And then again, funding tied to creating new programs is a motivating factor of what can we offer for our students, and then there's a way to help offset the cost of these new programs. What's in it for our students? Well, goals for them: participation in internships or apprenticeships, work-based learning, coming out of Evergreen with strong employable skills, and potentially industry recognized certifications. So all that tying together with new programs. We also looked at student data. So our students the current students in the high school did a career assessment looking at areas of interest for when they leave Evergreen after they graduate. And students selected their top 3 career favorite fields. And the information is there of what they came out with. And some of the highest scoring potential career areas were the health sciences, construction and architecture, transportation, logistics, distribution, business management, law and public safety. So looking at what our students are interested in and what we don't have currently that we're offering, what pathways would become potential options. So on one of the snow days, the administrative team met and we came up with 5 programming pathways that we think are worth exploring: industrial and skilled trades, business and entrepreneurship, engineering and technology, health and human services, logistics and transportation. And then a little philosophy statement which would go with each of those areas. So what does that look like practically in the high school setting? What courses or programs would fall under those broad headings? And we came up with a bunch. Again, and this is what we came up with administratively. I'm not going to read all of them to you. But these are some that we came up with and thought, boy, it'd be nice to be able to offer a little bit more to our students. How about a student, looking at logistics and transportation, they graduate and they have a CDL upon graduation. Or you're looking at business and entrepreneurship and you've got your real estate license as you're graduating, I believe from Evergreen. Just a couple of examples. But I'd ask you, stop. What is missing from that list? And I presented this information at all three of our buildings and asked staff, what are we missing? So this is an administrative brainstorming session, but are there other pathways that we should be looking at, or are there other opportunities under these five? So I sent a survey out to district staff, give us more information so we can continue to explore what are we not looking at? Because right now, it's all an opportunity. Can we do all of these things and offer all these programs? No, we're simply not large enough. But to exclude something from consideration at this point, I think it's premature to do. Let's look at everything and, what do we want to offer the students? So that's essentially the next step in the process for this. I've met with faculty and sent them the survey. I want to get in front of students. I want to get in front of parents and then community members. And here throughout this semester, look at what we should be narrowing down our programming options to. So, I believe all of you also received the survey. You should have received that, I think, either Friday or Monday, and probably didn't make a lot of sense to you at that point. But again, looking at those areas, what should we be considering for other programming options? So on our end, what do we need to consider, and then how do we make it a reality? But right now, we're just casting a wide net to look at all options, and there'll be groups, refining our choices, looking at what other districts are doing programming wise. So we're not reinventing the wheel. Where's our interest? What does the community want? And then how do we make that a reality? And some of that becoming a reality, maybe changing staffing, hiring more staff. It may be some facilities to accommodate these programs, but I think we need to know where we want to go academically as our next step. Any questions? Seemed like I was talking real fast at you, so I apologize. So if you do have questions later on, let me know, and I will be providing opportunities to all of you to be a part of this process.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Is this gonna be in addition to the normal traditional education that we're
Yes.
providing for? So
Yeah, we have to offer all of our course.
I just want to make sure that that high level of education is not gonna be compromised by
Not
this possibility. Thank you. That's what, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, Mr. Miller, are you ready for me to jump into administrative other?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Frank, we're going to jump to you.
All right, switching gears to the elementary, our students wrapped up their middle of year benchmark assessments. And showed us that 66% of our students are at or above grade level. So being halfway through the year, we're well on our way to our goal of 80% at or above grade level. So we're making good progress there. Our teachers are working through grade level meetings so that each grade level will meet with our MTSS team to look at data, kind of analyze what they're seeing from those winter benchmark tests. And then that just helps us with our tier 1 instruction and our interventions that we put in place. Next thing, a group of teachers met last Friday to look at some ELA curriculum options, so our new reading curriculum that we're going to adopt. The team did a really good job. They used an intensive rubric from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, worked through and rated the different curriculums, and then came away with 2 of the top choices. And then they took that back to their grade level teams, and are going through that with the rest of the teachers. And they're also using a not quite as expensive of a rubric, but a smaller rubric with their team to kind of weed out the top one. So we're looking forward to getting to the final stages of that. Our family STEAM night was a big success. That was really awesome to see the students. The one thing I noticed most was how engaged they were in all the activities. So it's neat to see when we bring learning to life, how the students really do stay engaged, because obviously we hear trends of kids not wanting to pay attention or not being engaged, but it shows that when you put the right things in front of them, they're all in and soaking it up. So that was a great reminder for me and the other staff there to see that. The daddy daughter dance was last week as well, so shout out to MVP for putting on that awesome event. It's neat as a dad, it's neat to see all the girls walking in and just beaming with pride and excitement, walking in with their father figures. So that was neat to see as well. And then lastly, our staff spotlight this past month was Mrs. Monica Anderson. She's a kindergarten teacher. She's been a staple here at Evergreen. I'm sure most of you know her. She has been here for 32 years, and she said she's especially enjoyed working with her sister, Mrs. Tracy Kennedy. So I wanted to give her a shout out and thank her for all she does for some of our youngest Vikings. Any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Frank.
thank you. You too.
Mr. Burkholder.
Good evening to you guys. Sorry, my voice is a little bit under the weather, so I'll try not to squeak on you. It's happened like 3 times there for the kids. Middle school People's Champ, I have 2 individuals that I'll throw out their names yet. I don't know if we'll know them all yet. One of them is newer to our district, Mr. Cooper. If you haven't met him yet, he is in his first year as part of our band team with Mr. Schneerman. He's actually familiar with our district because he was here about 7 years ago, student teaching. So he came right in, hit the ground running right away, and he's done an awesome job helping us kind of even grow our musical program. So he's a huge asset for us in that department, especially for the middle school. And then Tammy Knopfsinger, any of you that don't know, she is a veteran teacher for our district. She's actually the district teacher of the year, I believe, 2 years ago, if I'm remembering right, 2 or 3 years ago. She's a huge leader in our building overall. She's an intervention specialist for the 7th grade, and she just leads by example in everything she does in our building. So I want to recognize both those special people. Update for the middle school as far as our facility dog fundraising. We've been now doing it for almost a month. And the good news is we're over halfway already as far as our goal. Our goal is to raise $4,000. We're over $2,100 now. And we haven't even really done our first full fundraiser. So that's good to know that we're heading in the right direction for that. Events and things that think had place over the last month for us. We did have our data days. Dr. Swineford led that for the math, ELA, and SPED departments. And that's just a day in which they get to spend extra time diving into the state data, looking at what they did, strengths and weaknesses, and kind of figuring out where we want to move forward with state testing data. We actually also on the report here, we had PD last Friday. I do want to recognize a couple sessions that we had at the middle school. On the afternoon, you got to have your own sessions, and we had 2 that were specific to our building requested by our teachers. One was a wellness session where teachers learned about mental health, physical health, and the way to keep themselves stress-free. That was led by Jenny Burkholder, one of our teachers. She presents at other conferences as well. That was an excellent session for us. She even got me to do a little bit of yoga. And then our other presenter was Rick Ludke. He came in and did some financial support and STRS education for teachers to help them better understand a lot of the changes that are taking place and where they can improve and make decisions on their own. So thank you to Mr. Ludke too. That was a very knowledgeable session for us to hear. One successful thing we had this last month is we had our DARE graduation on the actual scheduled day, first time in 4 years, you know. Special thank you to Deputy Mike Foreman. It was his first time leading it and organizing it, and we actually switched it up a little bit this year. We brought the 2nd graders down and had it as a bigger event. I thought it went great. He brought in a couple other deputies. They brought in a drug dog that kind of stole the show and really entertained everybody. But all in all, it was a great event recognizing the kids and where their development as far as the DARE program and what's teaching them about decision making. I'll highlight again, MVP doing what they do in our district. They have hosted a skate party for us on February 8th at Waseon Rollercade. So thank you to MVP for doing that for the middle school building. We really appreciate the events they put on for us throughout the year, in addition to what they already do at the elementary. And then I want to recognize 4 students real quick that went to the Fulton County Spelling Bee on February 10th. We sent our best spellers, 1 for each grade level. So in 5th grade, Jack Mans represented us. In 6th grade, we had Noah Proudfoot, and then his sister in 7th grade, Leila Proudfoot. Apparently that family watches Wheel of Fortune. And 8th grade was Samantha Spuller. They did a great job representing Evergreen, and that's I think we have somebody finishing in like the top two every year for the last 4 years, so they've done really good. So, any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you, Mr. Burkholder.
Thank you.
Mrs. Spring.
Good evening, Amanda Brain, high school counselor. I'm here on behalf of the high school and Mr. Roofer. He asked me to come and outline some of the changes that we are implementing next year for our scheduling process, specifically our CCP at home study halls. You may know them as late arrival and early dismissal. So this time of year, we start thinking about next year and making plans for schedules. Students will be given course request sheets here in the near future, outlining some of these new policies. So I wanted to share them with you. The first being that the CCP study hall at home will only be available for seniors, privilege for seniors only starting next year. In addition to being a senior, we are asking that they meet a few additional criteria, one being a 3.5 cumulative GPA on the weighted grade scale. In addition, during their junior year, they cannot have any no credit F, D, D plus, D minus, C plus, or C minus grades on their transcript to demonstrate academic responsibility. If at any time we receive official notice from a college or university that a student is receiving any of those grades, we will then require the student to be in person and on campus all day in an effort to increase those grades. And then additionally, our CCP at home study halls will be available for only first and seventh period. So we will have students grades 9 through 12 in the building for periods 2 through 6. There is one small change to our work study program. I also wanted to highlight work study will be 65 hours per 9 weeks work requirement, and that's up just slightly. It was previously worded as 120 hours a semester. So there's a slight increase there, and that's related to our report card guidelines. And then lastly, we're going to tie the Ohioans job readiness seal into that course as well. So requiring students to complete that seal again for that those report card requirements.
Awesome.
Do I have any questions?
No, thanks, thanks, Ms. Spring. Mr. Doble.
Good evening. I'm going to start first off, piggybacking off of Amanda with CCP changes. One of the changes that's gonna happen is technology related. Currently, the way that we stand, our CCP students, every student is given a Chromebook from Evergreen. And that is what we provide. Some of these classes require a normal laptop, whether it's PC or a MacBook. And there's been a lot of headaches around that in the last few years. So we are going to put it in policy that we are providing a Chromebook. If a CCP class requires a regular laptop of some sort, we will have them available here that students can use, but we will no longer be providing MacBooks for students. We did put that change into place this year, but there was no actual policy around it. It was kind of I think a shell shock to some of our kids that we weren't going to provide them with MacBooks. And then so what we did this year to kind of put a Band-Aid on it is we allowed our CCP students to bring in their own device if they had a MacBook. We have a public Wi-Fi that's turned on that they can connect to. But that is a security risk, really, having devices come in during the day, getting on our network. We can't monitor our students as well if they're on their own device for privacy reasons. We can't access their stuff. So beginning next year, we will also no longer be allowing students to bring their own device. That's probably gonna be a little bit of a shell shock for some of our kids because I know they have MacBooks. But anything done on, that they wanna do on their device will have to be done at home. Our public Wi-Fi will not be available during the school day, for that reason. So Mr. Roofer wanted me to just bring that up as well, along with some of the changes that they're making. Technology is a part of that, so. Student data privacy, I think I talked in November about this a little bit, but we had a PD back in November for our staff. There's a lot of new laws in place regarding student data privacy. At the time of the training, I think we had about 35 privacy agreements in place with our vendors, our software vendors. We're over 100 now. That is a big chunk of my day lately is privacy agreements, so. But we're making good progress, like I said, over 100 now. And we'll just continue to add as we can. There are some vendors that refuse to sign a privacy agreement. If it's something that we really need, then we will have to go parent consent, but we are not there yet. We will be evaluating what applications those are. Are there alternatives that maybe they have signed a DPA? So we are making good progress on that. There is a law in place, beginning July 1st, school districts have to have a cybersecurity program in place. I have begun researching that, what that looks like. I have a really good friend of mine that's in cybersecurity, and I'm actually going to be meeting with him in a couple of weeks. And he actually has helped a lot of local towns and villages are also required for these this new law. They had to have it in place by January 1st. So he has actually helped a few of these villages get theirs in place. So I'm gonna piggyback off of some of the advice that he gives me, and then hopefully by July 1st, we'll have our cybersecurity program in place. The WACA is offering some services regarding that, obviously for a fee. If it's something that I can do, I will do it, so that way then it doesn't cost our district any additional money. If it's something that I feel I wanna lean on NWACA a little bit for, then I will discuss that with the admin team and decide the way we wanna go. And just in the last week, I ordered all of our devices for next year, so 250 Chromebooks for our 5th grade and our 9th grade, that's when they get their new devices. And then our 8th grade devices will be moved down to the elementary school to keep that fleet updated. And then I just purchased new MacBooks for our elementary teachers. This was year 3 of a 5-year rotation, so for the next 2 years now, we will not have any laptop purchases for our staff. And then in 2 years, we'll restart that sequence. So that is, but we should have those hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And then the last thing that I'm working on is I'm working on getting pricing for new point of sale machines for our cafeterias. The ones that we have been in place for a long time, and it's time to get those updated. For multiple reasons, they're just old, the batteries don't last, and security reasons. They're running Windows 10. We need to get those updated. So I'm getting some pricing around. I'll talk to Brian and we'll make a decision on how we want to move forward with that, but that is all I have. Any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you, Mr. Doble.
Thank
you.
Mr. Stamola.
Yeah, a couple items to touch on, so. Been an interesting year for weather, so we've missed 9 days. With the state and our hour system, all of our grade levels are in good shape except for seniors because they graduate on May 17th. They have, I guess, less time with us, so right now they are okay. There's about 2-day cushion for them, but if we would have another spell of bad weather and we miss multiple days, there is the potential they would need to make days up at the end of the school year. So right now, everyone else is great. I think we have about an 8-day cushion. Seniors do not have that, so we will keep an eye on that. And I know that will not be a popular decision if that happens, but that is out of our control. We got guidance from the state today, looking at, could we do like a blizzard bag or cannot do that. We would have had to have approved that as a plan prior to August 1, and we build 4 days into our calendar for extra days, which we have not used, I don't think, and since the state went to hours, so thought we were good. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully we are done with fog and snow and ice and extreme cold. Any questions on the calamity days? As you're aware, earlier today, threatening message in the upstairs boys' restroom, out of an abundance of caution, we went into lockdown. Did look at who it could potentially be. That is still under investigation. We did search the building. Lockers and locker rooms and common areas. Happy to report, we did not find anything. We did not think we would, but again, we always have to go overboard on the side of safety. When the search was concluded, law enforcement was a part of that. They were here with us, supporting us. Went out of lockdown, resumed the regular day. I know a lot of parents were concerned and upset. We are limited in what we want to send out and how timely we can do it while we're in the middle of an incident, so. I thought our administrative team worked very well together, addressed it, everybody communicated well. We did debrief after school, there's always a few things and takeaways that we can change and do better, but. Overall was handled very well. And we were, fortunate that, again, it was just a. Unproven threat on the wall of the bathroom. Questions, I'm sure you have questions.
I've been asked if there will be extra, like, if we have any concern to have extra tomorrow to kind of keep an eye.
We do not have extra law enforcement scheduled to be here. I know, there were additional deputies today. I'm sure that is something we could make happen, but right now I don't think there's the need for it.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Is there any board members with questions or concerns? No. All right, then I just need a motion to adjourn the February 17th, 2026 regular meeting of the Evergreen Local Board of Education.
Move.
Supported.
Roll call.
Yes. Schmitz.
Yes.
Miller. Yes. Lawson.
Yes.
Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you.